welcome to this Slippy Limpets video. We're out in the water again, in a bit of a hurry to be honest, because we've got some bad weather forecast in a few hours, and I thought I would just try and get a little session in before this weather comes. Currently there's about 5 mile/h wind, but in about 3 hours it's forecast to be torrential rain, which I'm not fussed about. But it's the 40 mile/h winds that'll make kayaking a little bit tricky. There's no real other options for us today in terms of where to fish. Well, how to fish, you know, the rocks were just too wet, and I really fancied coming to this area because I've never fished it before. So I'm going to rely heavily on my Navionics app and probably my sonar as well, just to try and find some structure. I was hoping to be here a fair bit earlier, but the roads in Northumberland were absolutely rammed. The tide is coming in at the moment. It's quite a big tide. It was low tide about 3 hours ago, so I've got another, I'll only be fishing the tide up really. I had seen some structure on the map this morning that I really wanted to try, but it's about 2 miles offshore, and I think with the winds that are forecast it would be a little bit irresponsible of me to give that a go, especially with the swells as well that are due. So that's enough talking, because it's slowed me paddling down, and I'm going to try and find some fish. So I've just passed some really good ground there, but we're really close in, and because the weather's due to change, I plans to head a bit further out. Fish there's a bank, steep bank just on the other side of where these waves are breaking, I think, according to my chart plotter anyway. And because the weather's due, you can see it on the horizon there, it's coming from the southeast. I think I'll spend a bit of time fishing further out before these swells get any bigger and that 40 mile/h wind comes, because I can't paddle that quickly on a kayak, and I definitely want to be close to shore if that hits me. So bit of a race against time here, but hopefully my plan's going to be right and we're going to get on the fish. Whoa, getting hit straight away. Just had a first drop there. Ground looks really good. We're right next to these rocks. Got my trusty bait caster back, which is great. Love fishing with a bait caster. Oh yeah, look. Destroyed straight away. Oh, there is a mountain of bait fish down there. Look at all that. This isn't weed. See on there how it's just dropping down, it's plateaued out, so because I think I'm going to drift back that way, I'm going to just paddle past this bank. Hopefully the wind's going to carry me back over it. Now it is wind over tide, so don't quite know whether it's going to happen or not. I'll need to see how strong the wind is versus the tide. There's only one way of finding that out, and that's by actually doing it. So I'm going to start off with this fish minnow, fish crazy eel. What I'll do is I'm going to keep checking my drift against my sat nav, as it were, my chart plotter, and then that allows me to figure out where I am and how to set up a drift over the ground that I want to drift over or fish. At the minute it looks like I'm drifting away from where I want to be, so I'm guessing the tide's stronger than the wind. So what that means is, going to check this first. Yes, I'm actually drifting that way, which is against the way, well, not the direction I want to go. So to bring this in, and then the wind should take me in the direction that I'm planning on fishing anyway. That's the theory, let's see if it works. Nope, it was a fish. Oh yes, finally! It makes all of this worthwhile. On the drop straight away. What's it gonna be? I think a codlin. Yeah. Hey, go on son's giving it some. Not massive, but it beats blanking. And it means I'm in the right place. We'll go. Get in. I love coming to a new place without any knowledge and just using your kind of theories, breaking down the code and getting the electronics on the go. Looks like there's more down there, so let's get some more. There was either a seal under us or that's a big fish. Look at that. Oh, it's taking it. Oh, it's a big fish. Oh, I'm gonna back the drag off a little. Not that much. Oh, that came from mid-water. If I was down south somewhere, I would have said that was a bass, but it's not, it's a pollock. What's a pollock doing mid-water? Literally saw that on the graph and my lure was underneath it. It went down for it. It's doing the business today. It's not a bad one, it's about four and a bit pounds. Yeah. Good thing around fishing around these pots is that you can use them as a really good marker of where you've started your drift. You don't have an app or any chart plotting, and it helps you find your starting location nice and quickly. Well, the rain's definitely coming. Don't know about the wind. Feels like it's getting a bit stronger, so hopefully I'll get a few more drifts before might have to call it a day in an hour or so. Hopefully not. I'm still buzzing after seeing that pollock on the sonar. Looks like there's another one mid-water there. Just gonna have a drop down. Hopefully it's not the rope for that buoy, that pot. Ooh, just had a hit on the drop there. Yeah, look, they're fighting over it. It's definitely fish down there. Oh, I'm buzzing. Again, it's weird, look, I've started on the opposite side of that buoy there. Now I'm drifting in towards the shore. Anyway, it doesn't matter, I've found where some fish are. Look at all those. Well, this isn't normally my style, but I know I've just caught some fish on this lure, but I can see fish are attracted to it, just not committing, so I'm going to try a slow jig. Quite a heavy one, it's 90 grams this, and I don't know if it'll work in this depth of water. Well, I was in 11 meters of water there, but I've come back down, so I'm just going to paddle out a little bit. And here comes the rain. Oh, there's a puffin. Yes, get on. Just dived under the water there. Pretty rare to see a puffin these days. Yeah, this is what I want with a slow jig. This buoy marks where the water drops between from 8 meters down to 13. See what happens with this slow jig. Ooh, something hit. Oh, I've got something little though. It's barely even fighting unless I'm just wrapped. No, these aren't the fish that we're after. Oh, a little coal fish there. Definitely not what I'm after, so if I keep getting those, then this jig's coming off. Nah, this slow jig's not slow enough. I'm not liking it. Well, I'm really sorry if the lenses are getting covered in water, but I can't really do much about the rain, unfortunately. I'll try and wipe them off periodically, but there's not much else I can do really. I think what I'm gonna do, instead of farting about trying to stay in one spot, is I'm gonna paddle, since the drift seems to be working a little bit now. I'm gonna get up with this buoy and do a longer drift, cover a bit more ground. Yeah, fish on. The little one. There we go. I think my plan, I'm going to change tactics. So far I've been relying on the wind to create my drift, but I just kind of work it out. The wind comes and goes, and the tide seems to be holding me against the wind, so I've paddled to the opposite end of the area that I want to drift, and now I'm going to use my drogue in the tide to hopefully pull me back that way. It's the theory anyway. I hope it works. So far the answer to that question is if that drogue worked, it didn't. I've still been drifting the opposite direction, so I'm a bit flummoxed, to be honest, but we'll just keep persevering. Right, well, I've been drifting around now for about an hour and a half, or at least that's what my chart plotter says, so I'm going to try a different location. I'm conscious that I've got a bit of a time limit, I guess, with the impending weather, so I'm going to go for a bit of a paddle and try another bank that I've found a little bit. It's about half a kilometre away. I've not seen any fish on the finder for a while, and I've not had anything for about half an hour, so it makes sense to make a move while I've still got the opportunity to do so, and hopefully before I can get there and back before this wind comes. It's putting real pressure on us while I'm fishing this weather forecast. I'm just gonna have to forget about it and live with it once it arrives. I know I can paddle into shore at least, so well, somewhere on shore, because I'm not fishing that far out, but I don't know. 40-mile-an-hour winds is something to handle on a little boat like this. Right, there's a lot of action here. The tide's ripping through, there's swells coming from every direction, and the ground's going all over the place. So I'm just going to give it 5 minutes and see if I can winkle a fish out here. If not, then I'm going to try some different ground, maybe deeper water. It's like a wall of water, that. Definitely don't want to get trapped in one of these. Too big for my liking. So I just figured out what was happening with that area of water. There's the water on this side, I've just paddled over it. The water on this side's 15 meters deep, and it goes up to about 6 meters and so the tide's just honking straight over it. I'm trying to set myself up for a drift to go back through that, but at the minute I'm drifting back into shore somehow, so I'm gonna have to just paddle to the edge of it carefully because the swell's coming in as well, and hopefully there'll be some fish kind of lurking around in the faster water. Right on top of it now. It's just gone from 15 to 8 meters. I need to be careful because I don't want to be trapped on this side when the wind kicks in, because wind over tide doesn't make very good paddling conditions. That is pretty darn dangerous, so especially with this size of tide and the swells that are coming through. Oh, it's getting rough. Right, so I've had a good 20 minutes, half an hour fishing in this side of the ridge, and all I'm doing is drifting towards the shore and the waves. So I think what I'm going to do is paddle back to where I started the day, because it's where I've seen the most fish on the finder, and it's also where I've caught the most fish. So bearing in mind the time's now what, 1:45, so time's getting on, I guess. But I'll turn the cameras back on once I get over there. Woo! Wow, that's some piece of structure. It's just come from 15 to 4 meters. We just spent 20 minutes paddling over here, and unfortunately for me, there's a great big seal here. I'm going to have a long drift here and hopefully keep away from that swell over there, because there's quite a big rock just under the surface here, and the waves are kind of creep up on me. So yeah, let's get something in the water. Oh, fish on. Let's get this in quickly because the seals are about to come off. Damn those seals. Oh, that's just unfair. Oh, so I just had my first fish in ages, and these seals are stalking us now, I'm sure. There wasn't much left of my bait after I hooked in. I've just glued a new one on, new body. It's not quite as long as the last one, so maybe this actually might, well, I'm kind of downsizing, I guess, so hopefully it might help us out a wee bit. Oh yes, fish on, let's get it up. Oh, it's quite a good one. Let's hope the seal doesn't come along. Come here. Well, it's not quite good. It's the smallest pollock of the day, but I'll take it. And Mr. Seal's just right over there. He must be following us around. You're gonna have trouble getting back, I think, pollock. There we go. Swim away. I've travelled like 100 meters and I thought the seal would have right off by now, but they're obviously a bit smarter than that. Yeah, took it on the way up. Oh, a little coalfish, that's why. It's not actually that little for a coalie. Oh, destroy my lure. Oh, fish took it on the drop. Hey, this is my first mackerel of the year. Oh, and away goes. Get in. It's 4 species today: mackerel, pollock, coalfish and codlin. that was. Really ripped the rod out of my hand. Snagged at that point. Feels like a pollock. Whoa! Oh, yes! Come on! This might not be very exciting for you guys, but I've never caught a wrasse on the lure before in the North Sea. Well, one, but not like this. And look at the colour of this. I can't even speak properly. Oh, schoolboy. Oh, yes! 5 species in a day. Right, well, I think I'm going to call it a day. It's 20 to 5 now. Been out in the water for 6 hours. It's been it's been a really good session. Always love fishing a new area. It's been a real weird day in terms of figuring out the drifts. I'm putting it down to the amount of structure that's in the water around here, because there's just loads of it, and I couldn't really figure out any directions until sort of at the end, but it hasn't really mattered, you know. I've managed to cover some ground and caught some fish as well, which has been good. Had 5 species, mackerel, the first of the year, a wrasse, which shows great colours and is a complete rarity for me to catch, especially in the northeast coast, and the obligatory codlin and a few pollock as well. So all in all, it's been a cracking day. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please subscribe. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up to like the video, and don't forget to hit the little bell to get the notifications of when my next video is out. And if you've got any questions about kit, tackle, kayak or whatever, just leave them below in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Do try to get back to every comment. I really appreciate anyone who does comment, and please share the videos out on social media, help them grow, tell your mates, help my channel grow. Until the next video, tight lines.